As the unrest continues in Los Angeles, a CBS News poll conducted before the protests reveals most people feel positive about the Trump administration's deportation plans. 54% of people said they approve of the president's program to deport people in the country illegally, while 46% disapprove. We conducted this poll between June 4th and June 6th. So just as mentioned, before these protests erupted in Los Angeles, CBS News Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto, joins us. So, Anthony, explain this to us. What's shaping the public's views on immigration?
So there's two really pivotal points here, Tom. Let me show you this. First, it's who do people think the administration is prioritizing for deportation? Now, if folks think, as 53% of the country does, the administration is prioritizing people they think are dangerous criminals, they strongly support the program, and also they're a big part of this 42% who think the program is making the U.S. safer as opposed to less safe. But if they don't think that's who they're prioritizing, they don't support it. The second big point here is how many. And so I ask people, well, is this more people than you expected? During the campaign, the president and the candidate president, talked about doing this program. Is this what you expected? More people, or about what you expected? Thing is, the folks who say this is more people being targeted for deportation, well, they, and I'll show you this crosstab, are actually less approving of the program overall. So it's that, well, maybe this is more than they expected, and that turns them towards disapproval. Whereas, and this is really strong, a lot of support from his political base, from Republicans, from the right, if this is what they expected, 2/3 approval.
There are a lot of financial questions that also go into this. What, if any, impact is the president's program having on the economy or Americans' view of the economy?
And it's so important because we're in a situation right now where most folks still say they think the U.S. economy is bad, but it's gotten a little better in their minds since it hit lows this winter, right? So it's a sort of sensitive, maybe uncertain situation. But more people say they think this deportation program would make the U.S. economy weaker as opposed to stronger. Some of this pivots on what people think that immigration does to U.S. jobs. Does it take jobs from Americans? Does it fill jobs Americans won't do? That turns a lot on this, too. And then a big part of this is the goals versus the approach. And look at this difference. More people say they like the administration's goals with this program than like the approach. And that kind of explains a lot of what you see behind the thinking.
Anthony Salvanto, always putting a fine point on the national discourse through numbers and data. Anthony, thank you.
Thank you.